What's up, guys? It's Mike.
It's Dan.
Alright, this is so disturbing. People love Korean dramas. We have friends who are literally live and die by Korean dramas.
Oh, yeah.
I watched my first Korean drama a few months ago, in I think April.
Okay.
And since then, I've watched 2 more. So I watched in my life 3 Korean dramas.
Okay, so which ones are they?
One was The Star from Alien
another-
Mars.
The Martian one. Yeah,
The second one was
Descendants of the Sun.
Yes.
No, yeah, that's the most popular one right now.
I watched that.
You watched that one?
Yeah, that ending was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
That
Why?
ending.
Why?
I'm not gonna say it because a lot of people might have seen it. And the third one was she was not pretty or something like that. It was some girl that was not pretty then became pretty. Yeah.
All right, so pretty standard sounding. People love them, right? Like the Descendants of the Sun you're talking about. That's literally the biggest one right now.
It was huge in China. It was huge
everywhere
in the world.
Right.
Here, for a while, every single time I opened up Facebook, there was something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So apparently, it's so popular, obviously, that it's a luxury for a lot of people. We didn't know that. To us, it's just like, all right, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But literally in North Korea, people have been executed for watching Korean dramas.
It happens every year. Because every year, North Korea will publicly execute people. So every year it's about 30. And then recently there's been articles saying that all of a sudden this year or last year, it just doubled.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on? So these people, it's almost like each person that's executed represents something that you can't do.
And keep in mind, this is publicly executed. So we're not talking about all the other ones who we don't know about. These are just like to set an example sort of thing.
Set an example. So, okay, drug dealers. Yeah. In a country like that, if you drug deal, you will get executed. You know, other countries as well. Criminals, prostitution, all kinds of things, right? Now, included in that list are people who have watched Korean dramas or listened to K-pop.
Right, so 10 out of the 60 are offenders who dared to feel all gooey inside by watching K-dramas or K-pop or whatever.
That's insane. I hope that they're just actual criminals and then the government.
No, they're not. No, this happened every year.
Right.
It's illegal to possess South Korean dramas or K-pop, all that stuff.
Right.
It's illegal to possess it.
Right.
And the punishment could be death.
And there's people who actually sell them illegally. You know, like it's almost like drugs. Like, I mean, they're not drugs, but the way you obtain them is through like black market means.
This is the ultimate propaganda tool, right? Censorship tool, right?
Course.
You literally are censoring a country from seeing what happiness looks like, basically, because that's what Korean dramas are. They're a portrayal of really just happiness. They're like happy people, love, what else? Freedom. Freedom to love and choose, and also South Korean dramas are like kids who maybe go against their parents' wishes and choose their own partners and whatnot.
Right.
So I guess these are all ideals the North really hates, or they can't have you having, or else they cannot stay in control.
I mean, by that respect, I'm sure the people they can't watch any kind of movies.
Right. I'm sure Western dramas are banned.
Then you literally can't watch any movies, and I'm pretty sure that's the case because what you can probably watch are only stuff produced by the North Korean government, which is full of propaganda. North Korea, right? And also, like, instead of looking what happiness is, they have other rules. Like, for example, you have to pay your respects to the regime, like celebrate the regime or whatever for many days straight, and that's what's making
this is one of the most messed up countries on this planet. Yeah, like so messed up. This is literally like living in some oppressive kingdom back in the day where the ruler is just insane.
Right.
And you're living there and you're like, you cannot get out.
And here's the other thing what I find just appalling is, so it's completely hypocritical, right? Because you've got most of the citizens under this intense tyrannical rule where they can't do anything or they die. Meanwhile, I'm sure there's people high up in the government who can do whatever they want.
Like Kim Jong-un?
And his
I'm sure he watches Korean dramas.
I'm sure he does drugs, drinks, do whatever, and the people below him, I'm sure, has a lot of liberties, and some of the 1%ers in that country have some of the liberties. So that's where it's like, you know what? You're basically just controlling all these other people, okay, and oppressing all these other people, and you basically do this out in the open.
This is why I wish the world didn't have any guns or advanced weaponry.
Okay.
It's like, this is why I if I had to choose, I would not choose to be born in this era. I would choose to be born in like Tang Dynasty China.
Of course.
Because governments nowadays, right? Let me say something about governments. We're not political. We're not very, we don't care too much about this stuff. We don't talk about it because it's really not something we can change.
Right.
We feel like some of you might be like, well, you gotta vote to make a difference. Okay, personally, I don't think I'm much of a difference, but governments now, every government is corrupt, right? Every government is corrupt. The governments really don't do what's best for the people.
Correct.
Like almost anywhere doesn't do what's best for the people because nothing gets done.
Correct.
Because like, for example, in this country, the president can only do so much without the support of Congress, the Senate.
Of course.
They can't do anything, really.
Right.
And they're controlled. That's why like the US have guns everywhere. Because the gun lobby is the most powerful thing in this country.
Right, the NRA.
Right. So would I choose that, or let's say a benevolent kingdom, let's say back in the day, where like the ruler gets to decide everything, but he's benevolent, he's fair.
Right.
So
he's governed by spiritual laws.
Right. And if a bad ruler takes over, he's oppressive, then what happens? People rise up and destroy him.
Right, and that's happened so many times throughout history.
Right.
So many times.
So in this case, people can't rise up because
they have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, they have high level weaponry. People can't just pick up a pitchfork from their home and like rise up. Unlike the old days where that could literally happen.
Right. So I totally agree with you because I feel like that's most of the reason is like other people can't step in is for fear
there's a Chinese saying. There's like a ranking system. It's like the local governments fear the central government, like this is the old days in China. Central government fears the Chengxiang, which is like the prime minister guy right below the emperor, and the Chengxiang fears the emperor, and the emperor fears the people.
Oh, okay.
That's like a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle
because the people can always rise up. Right. But in North Korea, the people are not rising up.
No. So he's literally at the top of the food chain right now.
But this is such a crazy thing was happening over North Korea, and this is just I don't see an end in sight unless like people inside his own government overthrows him. A coup could happen. That's the only thing I can see. I don't see the people coming together and like doing another Arab Spring or something like that over there.
I mean, it seems like he has such tight control that that's not going to happen.
But let us know your thoughts on this. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.